Third-person shooters can be every bit as engrossing and action-packed as the first-person variety. In this video, I will show you some best third-person shooter games for Xbox One in 2021. So without any further ado, let's start this video. The first game of this video is Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, the newest installment in the legendary Metal Gear Solid series, was released in 2015 and was an excellent stealth game with one of the most well-designed and immersive open environments to date. Despite the game's widespread acclaim, Hideo Kojima said in an interview with IGN that it was incomplete, validating the suspicions of fans who were suspicious of the game's sudden ending. Next up we have Rise of the Tomb Raider. The sequel to Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, received the 86% Metacritic score. Despite Square Enix listing Tomb Raider 2013 as one of 3 games that failed sales-wise, Rise of the Tomb Raider was published barely 2 years after its predecessor. Despite the commercial disappointment, Rise of the Tomb Raider kept its core gameplay similar to the first rebooted game. Next up we have PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Despite being an enormous commercial success, it's fair to say that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds was somewhat shortchanged when considering that it pioneered the battle royale genre's recent rise. Epic Games' Fortnite was released almost exactly 1 year after PUBG and soon dominated the genre of gaming. Next up we have Gears 5. The latest Gears of War title dropped the of war part of its name but kept much of the gameplay similar to the series' previous Xbox One and PC game. The game takes place just a few months after the events of Gears of War 4, with Kate Diaz now taking center stage as the main protagonist. Although Gears 5 again fell short of the original trilogy's 90+ metascores, the game performed well awards-wise, picking up Best Xbox One Game awards from Gamescom and the Golden Joysticks Awards. Next up we have Hitman 2. In 2018, Hitman Absolution, the 7th major installment in the famous stealth franchise, was published. The game's creator, IO Interactive, did not try to reinvent the wheel and maintained the gameplay identical to that of its 2016 predecessor. However, there were a few new features, such as concussive devices that armed players with useful non-lethal tools, and a welcome return of Agent 47's briefcase, which allowed players to carry big weapons invisibly. Next up we have Control. 505 Games. Control was developed by Remedy Entertainment, the same studio behind Quantum Break and Alan Wake. As one would expect from the team, Control offers players a story-driven experience with numerous fantasy elements. However, Control differs from Remedy's previous titles. TTS Metroidvania structure allows for exploration, as opposed to the linear format that most of the studio's releases follow. Next up we have Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Gears of War Ultimate Edition released in 2015 on Xbox One before coming to PC the following year. The game is a remastered version of the original Gears of War, with updated visuals and new multiplayer modes. Ultimate Edition's metascore of 82 may seem fairly harsh, especially considering that the original game received an aggregated score of 94. Next up we have Deus Ex Mankind Divided. The Deus Ex franchise has been a cornerstone of the cyberpunk genre since the iconic original game was released back in the year 2000. The latest game in the series, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, is set 2 years after the events of Deus Ex Human Revolution. It puts players in a world plagued by a divide between regular humans and those who are artificially advanced. Next up we have Bayonetta and Vanquish 10th Anniversary Bundle. Sega and Platinum Games marked the 10th anniversary of cult classics Bayonetta and Vanquish by offering players remastered versions of the 2 games. Bayonetta is one of few hack and slash titles ever to release outside of the Devil May Cry and God of War franchises. However, it's Vanquish that will make the collection appealing to third-person shooter fans. The last game of this video is Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 made an eye-watering $800 million in its first 24 hours, despite being released towards the conclusion of the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3's life cycles, with gamers ready to buy the next generation of system. Just over a year after its initial release, the game was re-released for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, featuring a new first-person mode. So that's the list of 10 best third-person shooter games for Xbox One to play in 2021. If you enjoy this video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel Games Puff and press the bell icon for more gaming updates.